you go. Hi everyone! So my name's Jade, as you probably all do know, and I am a New Zealand photographer. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with that. Okay, anyhow, so I started a photography club at my old high school, Whangaparo College. We call ourselves the Shutterbuzz, and as a little bit of a way to get some of these kids used to photography and different styles of it, I decided to do the 25-week challenge. So something should pop up here, like that. Okay, cool. So basically the first one, what you do is there's 25 options. So I put up a number generator on Google, 1 to 25, and I randomly got to select a number. So the first week's challenge was 22, which is still life, which I think is a great thing to start on because it's actually not too complicated, super easy, and it's just playing with objects. So I thought I'll do it alongside with them. So week 1, still life. So let's get started. I've got my studio going up in the background, so let's look to what's going on here. Okay, meanwhile, I decided to film my vlogs on this camera because A, it won't be my DSLR camera, and B, I can move it around. I've got a little tripod for it. I see a little tripod. So I'm going to film it on here, plus old kind of retro quality, which I kind of like, and I think it'll work well. Okay, so welcome to my studio. Yes, this is my bedroom. We don't really have a spare room in the house. The spare room's for the study, and that's where my mum and I have our computers and we work. So I've decided to turn my entire room into a makeshift studio. I have a curtain rail from our old curtains, which I hang the backdrops on. I have another one here, which is entirely black, which we're going to try out today and see if it fits, which is going to be interesting. Have my table, which I work off, which isn't the greatest because it's actually not straight or level. Here I have photography gear. This is my old dollhouse I used to use, where I just keep any other extra bits that I think I'll need. A bunch of other crap like manuals and all that in there. Bag full of old lights, well, not old lights, school lights that I borrowed. My lights, which are super easy and simple to use. Softboxing for the school lights, and yeah, and we'll just get started with turning this into a still life shoot for today. Okay, I would use the school's black backdrop, but because I actually haven't put it up yet, I am very nervous about using it, so I'm just going to go back to the old plain and simple, which I know everyone should have, which is a bed sheet. A plain, what are they called? They're not like not the duvet covers, they're not the mattress covers, they're just a thin sheet that no one really knows what to do with when they get given bed sheets. So I've got a completely black one, I've got a dark grey one, and I have a white one. For this shoot today, I'm going to be using the black one. Before, I've only ever used the grey one because I didn't have one, but now I do, and we're going to shoot little things like these shells here and these old dried up crap. And then I'm going to also use one of my old cameras as well to show you guys. So I think that's going to be a fun thing to do. I'm going to quickly set up. Gotta move everything. It's kind of irritating having a bedroom as a studio because well, you gotta move everything. Pre-warning, if you do this at home, there are easier ways, but those cost money, so this is real DIY. I do have scrunchie, which may seem absolutely utterly ridiculous now, but being able to be functional with things. Sorry, hold on. So, using scrunchies may seem absolutely ridiculous, and this whole setup I have in my room with this camera curtain railing seems ridiculous. However, if you are able to adapt to your surroundings and use what you have at home to help you create photos, then really it doesn't matter if you have a professional studio or not. It doesn't matter if you have professional lights, none of that, because you can adapt to such scenarios. And that is really where the creative thinking lies. That is where the creativity is, because that way you will know how to create a photo with just the tools you have, and that's fabulous. So I'm always going to encourage that when we are in class. So do not feel bad if you don't have the lights, if you don't have the backdrop, if you don't have anything like that, because you can still make great photos with just the things you have at home. And that's also what we'll be covering in this term, which I forgot. I did mention actually, yes I did. And I'll show you how I've made certain photos happen with just a washing line, a fishing rod, and a broomstick. Like, there's so many things you can do, and I literally got lent this backdrop a month ago, and yeah, it's changed a few things, but it actually hasn't changed that much. Maybe, yeah, with product photography, but the rest, nothing's really changed in my photography style, so it's all about just adapting to the environment you have. And also, having music playing in the background when you do shoots makes it a whole heap more fun, so I recommend. Yeah. Alright, that's the backdrop. I won't lie, there's definitely a whole heap of easier ways you can do this. There's stands and clamps you can buy that can help carrying up stuff like this, but I won't lie, those things are expensive, and unless you know you're fully going into this headstrong and you've had to go with such things, then I wouldn't recommend buying them. Makeshift stuff like this is great. If you have curtain rails, you can peg things up, and that's always a better option. Try not to go straight for the expensive stuff, because you don't need it. You really don't. Two purchases, well, I should say one purchase that I've really made that is really commonly used, and it would be these clamps. They're very strong. I got them from Mitre 10. Like, very, very strong. They do use them in studios. They come in very handy. I use them to help pick up backdrops, to help pick up stands. They're very strong. But I've made shifts. I literally just use bulldog clips or pegs or hair ties or anything I could to tie things on and make sure they stay. But these work perfectly fine as well. Let's put up a bed sheet. Okay, so because I don't have a flat table to work with, I could bring up a desk here, but that one's a fold-away table. I am probably going to try find one that's not pointed in the middle. It's perfectly flat, but for now, we make shift with what we can do. Got a giant board here. Got some masking tape on it. This was used for building puzzles on, because we had we only have one dining room table here, so we make big puzzles on this thing so we can move it around. So I put a little bit of like a little wooden box on there, so I'm going to lay that down on the box, and it's going to act as a level surface. Perfectly level. And we just want to put things on the side. I'm just making sure you guys can see. Again, basic tools. I have these pants, got deep pockets in. I can put a whole bunch of stuff in. You also want to wear comfortable clothes, things that you can move in, you can get down low, you can jump up high, just things that are comfortable, because if you're wearing uncomfortable tight clothes, you're just going to have a bad time. So dress comfortably, dress practically. Be practical. Okay. I hate folding up these things, so it brings me such pain to do this. So again, another thing with, I was explaining to some of you guys before, white attracts light, it reflects it, it bounces it off, but black, it absorbs light. So basically, you won't get any reflection of this kind, you won't get any backlighting if you have, say you put a product somewhere here, the black will just absorb light, so there won't be any like reflection going on the back of it. Don't worry about cuts and creases and all that. Right now, we're not focusing on making this the most perfect still life photo with no blemishes. We are just working on taking a still life photo. So no need to worry if one isn't exactly how you hoped. You can pull out the table like that, so you get a bit of a curve. This is particularly, like I said, we're just having fun. Don't know, you probably cannot tell, this quality is quite bad. But then you see like this, you think it's black. Can't tell, but there is a small little shadow cascading the side because I have large windows giving me natural light coming in. But we're going to play around with some light today. Right now, not too fussed with this natural light. I mean, it can work. If you can shoot anywhere by a window, you can do still life, because windows will provide that natural light. You don't have to make any artificial light, and you just position it so that the light is coming from a certain direction, so you can set up whichever the way the light is. But using natural light, it's such a great tool to understand and use. I use that for practically years. There's only been a few times where I've used like little lights and all that kind of stuff, but understanding natural light is where you want to go. Okay. Okay, so next up is lights, I guess. These are some lights that my dad got me. So thankful for him. These are actually really simple and basic and easy, a bit dusty. They've got a nice dish around to help project the light. Here, so let some of the heat out, because the bulbs do get very hot. And they're so basic that you don't really need much more than this, particularly as these two really going into the industry. You don't really need anything else crazy, but you can accomplish this with simple lampshades. I mean, this is just a larger version of a lamp. That's all it is. It's just a larger version. So you can do this with any kind of lamps at home. I have these little lights on these strings which I used to clamp to music stands and washing lines, help shine light on things. You can use plain old room lights, but you normally, if you're shooting from above, you're going to get a shadow down on it, and then you're going to get like a horrible warm tones, and you get, it's not the greatest. So if you can play with the natural light, or little lights like these, or little lamps, then that's all you really need. Okay, let's get this set up. We'll just take you in again. So, I have one light set up here. My stands don't go very tall, so this will work, but like I said, even if you get someone to actually just hold the light up here, you can use your phone. As you can see, again, this is kind of making the natural light coming here and taking it to the extreme. So you'll get the light coming in from the side, you get a very harsh shadow, but this product, you can't tell with this camera, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not going to shoot anything else. You can tell on this camera, see where the light's coming from? So it's going to be lit nicely this side, and yeah, we're just going to take a few shots and see what happens. you can just freehand holding your camera on your phone. I use a tripod for this kind of stuff so I can play a bit more. You don't need one. Like I said, on the camera right now it's got the tiniest little tripod. You can also my family also own one like this, so you can set up your phone to be like really close like this, and you can just shoot on your phone. It's super simple, or you can just freehand hold it. Really, you've got that option. Today I've got my camera bell. I refer to her as Belle because I love my camera to bits. Just a simple body there. I'm going to attach a lens on. This is my Nikon 35mm. As we were talking about in the first week's class, this aperture goes down to 1.8 or 5? Yeah, 1.8. Really capable lens. A lot of photographers use from just plain 35mm to 50 to 85, but 35 is very popular. Great little lens. I use it a lot. So yeah, okay. Now, screwing on tripods is super simple. Most of them have a little screw on like this. You'll find it would also be in this camera as well. Very common thing to have. Basically, there's a little thing here at the bottom. I'm not good at technical words, but that's literally just how you do it. You twist. And you do want to make it tight because it can move. But I know when I have my heavier lenses on, it does move a lot. But with this lighter lens, it is really light, so it doesn't move. Put it on a tripod like that. I always have my thing hanging here. Put it on the camera. Okay. So these were the last settings that were on my camera. I can't really tell, can you? So right now the aperture is at 1.8, shutter speed's at 320, and ISO 100. So I'm not going to change the ISO, but I think I'll keep the aperture the same since we are shooting still life. And the direct lighting, I might keep it at 160. I'll show you a little live view. So I'll just move my tripod down. We can move it just a bit closer. Can move this down like that. There we go. Anyway, we're going to make sure we're focused. Great, and I'm just going to take a photo. And boom! Can't really tell. I'll bring up the photo. It'll come up here. Oh, this is the raw photo. You can't really tell, but really like the lighting. Really great weight. Really great kind of settings. Everything's composed nicely. Yeah, the light's hitting it very nicely right now. And you can't tell, but it's the black kind of absorbs everything, and it's just the shell that's been lit up. So that's really nice still life photo to have. Super simple setup. You can do this with a lamp. You can do this with a window. You can try this. I really want you guys to try and play around with your still life. Super duper simple. For your phones, if you can change the settings, please play around with settings. Try different apertures. Here we go. So see here, where is it? This here, f1.8. Play with it all the way up to f11, f16, coming all the way back down to as low as you can, coming to the middle. Same with shutter speed. Play with a different shutter. You've got that opportunity. So if you can, please do definitely have a go with it, and try different objects, try different light angles. Just give it a go and have fun with what you can make. Oh yeah. And good morning, guys. It is the next day, so I did all that recording yesterday, and I'm using my Mac to record this now. Yeah, so just literally 5 seconds ago I was going through all the footage and writing down all the numbers and what I was going to put into the video. So to sum it up, that is how I do still life photography. I think you guys might have this available after you do the actual project, but we will go from there. It's super simple, and you can use that kind of set up for product, fine art. You can use it for a lot of different things, food photography. So it's a very simple setup, and it's something that you can achieve at home and you can achieve with natural light. I'll go over it in class a bit more, draw some diagrams for you guys, but it is super simple, super easy, and I hope you all give it a go. So I hope you like the video. Here's the photos that I got from that shoot, a little brief edit, super cool, kind of moody. So I hope you guys like it, and I can't wait to see what you guys did. So I'll see you next week Wednesday, and thank you for watching.